Okay, fine. So good morning, guys. Good morning, good evening. We'll start the session. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about the SQL Server, like the background of SQL Server, the course overview, and we also discussed about the SQL, like the SQL language, and about the tables. Okay, so what is meant by table? So all these things we discussed in the previous session, just the basics. So as I said, from this week onwards, okay, so we'll start with the demo slowly and then we'll continue, guys. Okay, so before jumping into the sessions, any questions, doubts, guys, in the previous, okay, discussions and all, anything you want to highlight?
All good, sir.
Okay, fine. Right, okay, so now as I said, we have to install the SQL Server, right? So just open your chart window before installation, before the demo. So as I said, I'll ask few questions, okay, on the SQL Server versions, Windows Server versions, and okay, compatibility level, right? Build numbers. Okay. So open your chart window and just ping me directly. Don't send the message in the group. Okay. I think group message was disabled. Okay. Group chat was disabled. Fine. So now you can send it to me directly. Okay. So like what and all SQL versions are there so far? Type your answers in the chat quickly in the direct one-to-one chat, guys. What and all SQL versions so far we have? SQL Server versions. Type all the SQL Server versions. Like in case if you cannot remember, okay, I mean to say if you cannot recollect at least, okay, one or two versions, how many you can remember, just type all the versions, guys. Bhargavi, Nagalakshmi, this is the first class for you, don't worry. Okay, so if you are able to like recollect, you can just type the versions that you remembered so far. No problem. Okay. Okay, 97, 2000, 2005, 88 are to 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 25. So that's good. 97, 2000, 2005, 88 are to 12, 12, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 25. And Bhagyashree, 1997, 2000, 2005, 88 are to 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 25. Very good. And Nikhila also. Nihar, 88 are to 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 25. Okay, good guys. Okay. So Others like maybe Nihar. Nihar, okay, fine. And then Suraj, fine. And Nikila, Bhageshri, okay. Fine. Okay. Can you please type the Windows Server versions, guys? What and all Windows Server versions we have? Windows Server versions. Okay, Kusuma. Windows Server versions. What and all Windows Server versions we have? Okay, Nihar. Good. Okay. Suraj, do we have Windows Server 2014?
Yes, I think.
Okay. Who invented 2014? Okay, we don't have Windows Server 2014. So, Suraj.
Okay.
Right, and Kusuma 2000, 2003, 88 R to 12, 12 R to 16, 19, 22. Okay. Bhageshri 2000, 2003, 88 R to 12, 12 R to 16, 19, 22, 25. Nikila 2000, 2003, 88 R to 12, 12 R to 16, 19, 20, 25. Good, guys. Okay. Okay, fine. So, what is the bill number for SQL Server 2019? Bill number starts with major and minor. Okay, I don't want complete bill number, the 4 digits, just major and minor part for SQL Server 2019. Hmm. What about others? I can see only 3 people answered so far. Suraj, Bhagyashri, and Nikila, and Kusma. Yeah. Nihar, what is the bill number for SQL Server 2019?
Is it 15.0?
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So 15.0. Okay. For SQL Server
Yeah.
2019. So, what is the bill number for SQL Server 2005? Type your answers in the chat quickly. SQL Server 2005. Okay, Nikla. 9.0. Suraj 8.0. Wrong answer. Bhagishri 9.0. And Nihar 9.0. Okay. So what is the bill number for sequence at 2003? Type your answers in the chat quickly. Bill number for sequence at 2003. Very good, Bhagya. Okay. Nihar. Okay, very good, Kusma. Nikla, very good. Okay. So Nihar, you're saying 5.2. How you got that number 5.2? Do we have any bill numbers with 5.2, something like that? 5.0? Okay. What is the bill number for sequence 2008, Nihar then? I'm sorry, I'm not pointing anyone, okay? I'm just trying to understand. Don't worry in case, don't feel like I'm pointing anyone, okay? So what is the bill number for 2000, sequence 2000, Nihar? 8.0. If sequence 2000 bill number starts from 8.0, how come sequence 2003 will be 5.2 or 5.0?
Uh,
Got my point, right?
yeah, I understood.
So then what will be the bill number for 2003?
I don't know, Shanmugh.
Okay, fine. Okay, so there is no sequence 2003, Nihar. Okay, we don't have 2003 version. 2000 and then 2005.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for responding. So we'll continue the sessions. Okay. So now what we can do is like we have to install the SQL server, right? The next move will be we have to install the SQL server. But before installing the SQL server, let's try to understand the infrastructure, how the infrastructure will be. Okay, the layer, how the infrastructure layer will be. So how we'll get the request, okay, and what we have to do, what and all things we have to check before installation. So all these things will be discussed, guys. Okay, so what we can do is, so let's go with the drive. Okay, so let's go back to this. Let me open drive. Okay, so now if we want to install SQL Server, okay, what we should have, guys, on which platform we can install the SQL Server? Where we can install the SQL Server, guys? As we discussed earlier, SQL Server is an application. So to install this application, what we should have?
OS.
OS, right? So we should have an operating system. So where we can install the operating system? Where we can install the operating system? Okay, so if we want to install an operating system, we should have one machine. Okay, we should have one machine. So let's discuss from that root level how it will be. So to install the SQL Server, we can use any machine, like a machine in the sense server. Okay, server. So you can install the SQL Server in your laptop, as I said, that is called desktop operating systems, and either we can install it on Windows Server operating systems. Okay, either we can install it on desktop operating systems and Windows Server operating systems. So we already discussed desktop operating systems are not compatible, right? As I said, desktop operating systems are not compatible for the okay application purpose and all, because uh, desktop operating systems are having lot of limitations, okay, in terms of RAM, in terms of okay what we can say CPU, so utilization and all, we have a lot of limitations, and we cannot use it for the production, this desktop operating systems and all. These are meant for only personal uses. The desktop operating systems are meant for only personal uses, okay, and we can install the SQL server. On the other hand, we have Windows Server operating system, so we can install the SQL servers on Windows Server operating systems. So if I want to install a Windows Server operating system, I should have a machine. Okay, machine in the sense laptop is a machine. Okay, so we can say that is a physical machines. There are two types of machines. Okay, there are two types of machines, guys. Can anyone tell me what are those two types? I'll give the access to this document today to all of you. Okay, there are two types of machines.
Desktop level, server level.
No, not actually. Those are two types of operating systems. Okay, that is desktop and server, two types of operating systems. Two types of machines I'm saying. Okay, physical machines
Virtual. Okay.
are bare metals, BM. Okay, BM means bare metals. Second one is virtual machines. Okay, VM, VM, VM. So your laptop is a physical machine. What is the meaning of physical machine? You can see, you can feel, you can touch. Is called physical machine. You can see your laptop, you can feel your laptop, and you can touch your laptop. Means physically it will be existed. That is called physical machines. And earlier, okay, before this virtual machines, okay, earlier like 2000, 2008 up to 2008. So most of the servers are like physical machines. Like the best example, if you go to your engineering college lab or any computer lab, okay, if you go to your any computer lab, you can see all the computers, right? You can see all the computers, like lot of computers. Like you can see maybe when you are attending any online test and all. So you can see that computers, okay, maybe in a row 10, 20 machines will be there, okay. So you can see that, you can feel that, you can touch that. That is called physical machine, means which will be existed physically. The peripherals are existed physically, the desktop, the monitor, the cables, everything will be existed physically. So what is the challenge with the physical machines, guys? What is the challenge with the physical machines? Okay, so the challenge is it will occupy lot of space. Imagine if we have 30 computers physically. Okay, if you go to computer lab, hardly 30 computers or 40 computers will be there, but you can see the room size and all. Okay, so it occupies lot of space. Okay, first challenge. Second challenge, it will generate lot of heat. All 30 computers, if we are like placing all the 30 computers in one room, so it will generate lot of okay heat. So it is mandatory to maintain the cooling system. Okay, if we don't maintain the cooling system, what will happen? There is a chance that the peripherals will be damaged in the computer, like the hard disk or the cables or the other circuit boards and all. There is a chance that okay, the components can be damaged easily. That's why computer labs generally will have an AC to maintain the cooling system and all. So the same case with the companies also. So when we are dealing with a lot of servers and all, 500 servers, 1000 servers, means you can imagine for 30 computers itself, it is occupying that much space. Imagine 100 servers, 500 servers, 1000 servers, how many buildings we need, how many rooms, how much cooling system we need. So those are the challenges with the physical machines. Okay, later when virtual machines are invented, okay, later when virtual machines are invented, maybe after 2005 and all, so the physical machines are replaced by the virtual machines. Okay, the physical machines are replaced by the virtual machines. So you can see only very few physical machines. In that physical machine, you can see, you can use that physical machines, okay, to configure the virtual machines, guys, okay, to configure the virtual machines. Now, if you see here, so these are all the virtual machines I created in my laptop. These are all the virtual machines I created in my laptop. See how many servers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 servers are there. These are all virtual machines. Means existed virtually. So virtual machine means you can see, you can feel, but you cannot touch. You are getting my point, right? Virtual machines means you can see, you can feel, but you cannot touch. That is called virtual machine. You can see the machine, you can feel the machine, but you cannot touch. Like you can see the phone. Okay, phone is a physical or virtual, guys? Tell me.
Physical.
Physical machine means you can touch the machine, right? You can touch the machine. Phone is a physical machine, whereas Google Assistant, Nihar, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So Nihar, just please rejoin. Maybe you're having some issues, I guess. Just try to rejoin. Okay. In case if you're still not able to see. Yeah. Somebody joined with the name R. Can you please identify yourself? Who is that? R. Please unmute and tell me your name. I'll rename it for you. Please check your names, guys, in the Zoom meeting. Someone joined with the name R. Who is that R? R, can you please identify yourself? Otherwise, I'll keep you in the waiting room. R. 1 minute. Nihar. Yeah, okay, Nihar. 1 minute. 1 minute, guys.
Hi, all.
Hi, hi. Okay. Nagalakshmi. Okay, fine. Okay. Right. So let me go back to this and this. Okay. So you got my point, right? So your device, okay, you can see, you can feel, and you can touch it. Your mobile phone is a physical device, whereas Google Assistant is a virtual, okay, assistant. The same like iPhone and Siri. Okay, you can feel Siri, you can talk to Siri, you can see the, I mean, the conversations and all, but you cannot touch Siri. Okay, which will be existed virtually, but it was existed in a physical device. Means without physical device, Siri cannot be existed. So in the physical device, the Siri is existed. In the physical device, your Google Assistant is existed. So these are all the virtual assistants we can say, okay, which will help you for our daily work. In the same way, using our physical resources, using our physical resources, we can create virtual machines. See, in my laptop that I am taking classes now is a physical device. In that laptop, I have created lot of virtual machines. See, these are all servers only. These are all virtual machines. On top of this virtual machine, I installed operating system. Okay, on top of these virtual machines, I installed operating systems. So these are all called, these I can see, I can feel, I can connect, I can work, but I cannot touch this machine because it won't existed physically. They are like just a virtual machines which will be existed virtually. Okay, so you are getting my point, right? So using my physical laptop resources, again I'm saying, using my physical laptop resources, that's what I just discussed, using your iPhone device or using your Android device, the virtual assistant will be existed or it will work. So your virtual assistant will take the resources of your RAM, mobile RAM, storage and all. Siri, same like your Siri also will take the help of your physical device. Means without physical device, I cannot create or I cannot use virtual assistants. So in the same way, using my laptop resources, say for example, let me go back to the task manager. So I want to see how much RAM I have. I want to see how much storage I have and how many CPUs I have. Yes, virtual machine is also a server. Okay. Virtual machine is a machine actually. On top of the virtual machine, either you can install a Windows server or you can install a desktop operating system. Anything you can install. If you are installing Windows server, so virtual machine is also a Windows server. You are getting my point, Nikila? So on top of this virtual machine, what operating system you are installing? So if you are installing a Windows server operating system, so virtual machine is also a server. If you are installing a desktop operating system, it's also a desktop. You are getting my point, Nikla? Is it clear now?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So now if you want to like see the memory and the CPU, okay, how much memory your laptop is having, how much CPU your laptop is having, then you can just check in two, three ways. One is task manager and another one is, okay, we have that system information. Okay, you can simply just go to the start button and you can type system information. Okay, you will get this system information and all. So from here also you can see. Okay, now you see here in the system information. So you can see how much RAM I have, how much CPU. Okay, what kind of CPU. Okay, so now if you see here the CPU processor. Okay, so I'm using i7 and it will be 10 core, i7 with a 10 core. And RAM, installed physical memory. Memory means RAM. Okay, memory means RAM. If you see the installed physical memory will be 16 GB. So my laptop configuration is 16 GB RAM. Okay, and i7 processor. Okay, 16 GB RAM and i7 processor. And the storage, you know, right? Storage, you can just go to this PC. From there, you can see the storage, how much free space and all. Right. So from the task manager also we can see the same. So go to task manager. You can see here in the task manager, you can see, okay, the performance tab. You can see the CPU, okay, the CPU utilization currently 6%, like it is spiking, right? 6, sometimes 4, 5, 10. So it is just spiking. And you can see the memory utilization out of 16 GB means 15.7 GB, 9.7 GB is in use currently, okay? Out of 16 GB, 9.7 GB is in use. So in this way, you can able to see, okay, the memory and CPU. Now the thing is, as I said, we can create virtual machines using the physical resources. Correct? For example, what are the main components of any machine, guys? Any server, we can say. What are the main components of any machine? Main components. Just now we discussed it, right? What are the main components of any machine?
Storage.
Storage, very good. Next.
RAM,
RAM, very good. Next.
CPU also.
CPU, very good. These three are main components, correct? RAM, storage, CPU. RAM means memory, okay, storage means ROM, and then your CPU. These three are very, very important, okay, uh, resources, okay. Without these three, there is no machine existed. So what RAM will do, RAM actually process it. RAM actually process it, okay, and it will, sorry, CPU actually process it and RAM will store the temporary results. So for example, if you see here, for example, maybe 5 plus, okay, 6 plus 2 minus 3, okay, and or minus 4 divided by 2, okay, into into 3. So now if you want to calculate, okay, so we cannot directly calculate, right, this one. Can we calculate directly? 5 plus 6, 11, 11 plus 2, 13, 13 minus 4, how much? 9, 9 by 2, or like let's go with a 3, okay, round figure. 5 plus 6, 11, 11 plus 2, 13, 13 minus 3, 10, 10 by 2, 5, and 5 into 3, 15. Is it correct? Okay, so you have to use the BODMAS rule. BODMAS, you know, right? Okay, BODMAS, bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Okay, so as per this only we have to consider. So first we have to see any bracket of or any division. Okay, so first you have to divide and then the result you have to calculate. Based on that only you have to calculate. So now roughly I am saying 5 plus 6, 11, 11 plus 2, 13 means I am just, okay, remembering the values. 5 plus 6, 11, but that plus 6, 11, because that 11 I want to use to count, okay, to add the other number or to process the other number. It can be an addition, multiplication, subtraction, whatever it is. To process the other number, I'm just temporarily, okay, I'm able to remember that number 11. And 11 plus 2, 13. 13 minus c, that who is doing that? 5 plus 6 means 11 means who is doing that calculation? The processor is doing the calculation. So processor will always process the data, and the RAM, the temporary results are coming, right? So the temporary results will be stored in the RAM temporarily. So that's why RAM will always, it will be less only when compared to storage. Storage, if you see 256 GB, 512 GB, 1 TB kind of storage you can see. But RAM you can always see 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. Okay, why RAM will always, it will be less. So it will be used to store the temporary results after the processing or while processing, whatever temporary results are there to store the temporary results, okay, we will use RAM. Once you restart the laptop, whatever the RAM is there, the RAM will be cleared. Nothing will be there in the RAM when you restart your laptop because it will be used for other purpose. Everything will be cleared. But whereas storage means your hard disk. So what and all data you are storing permanently, that will be stored inside your hard disk. So even though you restart your laptop, okay, so the data will still be existed because it's a permanent storage area. RAM is a temporary storage area which will be helpful to store the results temporarily during the processing or after the processing. Whereas the ROM, the storage, is a permanent storage area. So to store the data permanently, we will use a ROM, guys. So this is the importance of RAM, ROM, and CPU. Okay. So for any computer, okay, for any computer, the main peripherals are your CPU, RAM, and storage. So what I can do, okay, using my physical laptop, RAM, using my physical laptop, CPU, and storage, I will create a virtual machine. Means I will share this virtual resources. I will share these resources virtually. So let me help you in this way. Okay. So now imagine, okay, this is my, imagine we have a company. Okay. So here we have pool of RAM, pool of storage, and we have pool of Okay, CPU. Now RAM, imagine we have maybe 516 GB RAM. Okay, okay, RAM, CPU, storage. Okay, so let's go with the CPU now. CPU. Imagine we have maybe, sorry, CPUs will always measure in cores, guys. Okay, like how we will measure our metrics, like we have metrics, right? To measure the milk, we'll say 1 liter milk, 2 liters milk. Okay, like that. CPU will be always measured in the units of cores, 2 core CPU, 4 core CPU. Okay, so it will be units. So next is storage. Storage will be always measured in either MB, GB, okay, like that, okay, TB. So hard disk. So what companies will do? Companies will buy these resources. These resources will exist physically. Virtual machines means don't think I can build it from the okay air and all. Okay, nothing like that. So what we can do using the physical resources, we can able to create the virtual machines. Now to do this, we will take the help of one software. Okay, to do this, we will take the help of one software. That software is called virtualization software. Okay, virtualization software. So using this virtualization software, okay, what we can do is, for example, now my requirement is I want to build one machine, okay, with build a machine with 8 GB RAM, maybe 8 core CPU, okay, and 100 GB hard disk. This is the user's requirement, okay, the business owner's requirement, hard disk. So now what I'll do, so here if you see, if you go back to this diagram, let me go back. Yeah. If you see, I have around 512 GB of RAM. Okay. Imagine this is 512 GB of RAM. It's a pool, 512 GB. And I have around maybe 100 core CPU. Okay. 100 core CPU. And maybe I have 1 TB of storage. 1 TB storage. Imagine I have these resources. Okay. Hmm. Now user is asking, hey, build one machine. Okay, guys, this is like infrastructure. Don't worry at all. We don't build the machines like this. Okay. To do this, we have another team called Wintel team or VM team. They will take care of it. But you should have, you are installing one application on the machine. So you should have a basic knowledge on which platform you are installing, how it is going to be like build, who will build. Okay, you should have a basic idea on that so that you can easily understand the issue in case something went wrong, where it went wrong and all. You can just go back to the roots and all. Okay, that's why. So now using this virtual machine, user is asking 8 GB RAM, 8 core CPU, 100 GB storage. Okay, so now we can take the help of this virtualization software, and from this RAM it will allocate, okay, from this RAM it will allocate, the virtualization software will allocate 8 GB RAM for our machine, okay, 8 GB RAM for our machine. And then it will allocate 8 core from the 100 cores, it will allocate 8 cores, okay, for our machine. And then, okay, for this, from the storage side we need 100 GB, right? So we have 1 TB here, we have 1 TB here, so we'll take the 100 GB from this 1 TB. So total, who will do all these things? Your virtualization software will do all these things. And finally, it will help to build one Windows server, guys. It will help to build one Windows server. So this Windows server will have 8 GB RAM, okay, RAM 8 GB, CPU 8 core, and storage 100 GB. Storage 100 GB. So this is my machine, guys. Okay, this is my machine. Now out of 512 GB, because 8 GB is already allocated to this machine. Now imagine if this is 8 GB slot, this will be locked because this RAM is allocated to this machine. So 8 GB, 512 minus 8, 100 cores minus 100 cores minus 8, 8 cores I have allocated, right? And 1 TB minus 100 GB. Remaining I can use to build another machine with a different configuration. Like that until we have the resources, okay, the RAM and all, RAM, CPU, okay, what we can say, the storage, we can able to use those resources, and then we can build the virtual machines, guys. Okay, once that is over, once that 512 GB is over, then again company will buy the extra RAM for the other servers, and then it will allocate to other new VMs. See, if something went wrong, or imagine if this application is gone, if we are no more using this application, or the contract period is over, so we will decommission this server. Once we decommission this server, the resources will be added back to the existing pool, guys. Is it clear now, everyone, how this will be managed, the virtual machines and all? Any questions, doubts? No questions? Are we good?
So our existing storage will utilize in virtualization only.
Correct.
Okay.
If this is over, this 1 TB is over, all the storage is allocated to these machines, then company will add, the storage team will add extra storage. Okay, if CPU cores are over, then Windows team will add extra cores. They have to buy it physically. Okay, if RAM is over, okay, then we will add extra RAM. So this is how, okay. So some machines will be 8 GB machines, some of them will be 16 GB, some of them will be 32 GB, some of them will be like the phones that we are using. Okay, you can see the difference now. Not everyone is using the same configuration phone, right? Someone is using 16 GB phone, someone is using 32 GB, someone is using 64 GB, someone is using 128 GB, 256 GB. It depends upon your usage. Okay, for example, for parents, they don't need 128 GB, 256 GB phones. Okay, hardly generally what they will do a video call, or they will call us, like that. Max what kind of data they will store? So very less data, right? They will process very less data, but we will take pictures. So generally if we go with our case, we will take pictures, videos, lot of stuff will store, and will be part of multiple groups, so lot of data will come. Okay, so we need extra storage. So depends upon my requirement, I can buy an 8 GB phone, storage phone, or 16 GB, or 64 GB, or 32 GB, or 128 GB. So it depends on my requirement. In the same way, depends upon the application. If this application is a small application, it can be managed with 8 GB RAM, 8 core CPU, 100 GB storage. If the application is medium scale application, it might need 32 GB RAM, 32 core, or 64 core, like that. If it is a big application, maybe, okay, it needs 128 GB RAM, okay, maybe 64 core CPU, 2 terabytes of hard disk. So don't think all the machines will be with the same configurations and all. So it depends upon how our phones are like configured. Your phone is different configuration, my phone is a different configuration. In the same way, it depends upon the applications. One server capacity will be different, another server capacity will be different. So this is how, okay, the virtual machines will be built, guys. So these machines will exist virtually because we are building these machines using the virtualization software. So what is the advantage? I can manage all these machines in one computer, in one laptop. See, you can imagine 8 servers I am managing in one laptop. I am managing 8 servers. Imagine if I want to manage the same 8 servers physically, 8 laptops I should have. If there is no virtualization concept, if only physical machines are there, then 8 laptops I have to buy, 8 machines I have to buy, which is very difficult to manage. Imagine if it is 8, if it is 80, then so in one physical laptop, I'm managing all these 8 machines, and all these 8 machines are using my computer, my laptop RAM, 16 GB, whatever I have. Okay. Now, if you see here, out of 16 GB, how much is usage? How much is in use, guys? Out of 16 GB, how much is in use? 10 GB is in use. Remaining roughly 9.5 GB. Remaining how much? 6.5 or 6.3. That 6.3 only I can use to build the virtual machines, because my laptop itself is taking, normally, as I'm using multiple tools. I'm using Zoom tool, I'm using Chrome, Google Chrome. Okay, I'm using, okay, some other tools, Notepad I opened. So multiple tools I opened. When your utilization is more, the RAM also, it will use more RAM. If you open multiple applications, each application needs RAM. Without RAM, no application will work. Without CPU, no application will work. So if you are opening multiple applications, it will consume multiple RAM, multiple, like the core, the CPU cores and all. So that is the challenge. So that is the reason, out of 16 GB, 9.4, 9.5 is in use currently. The free memory is hardly 5.5, something like that, roughly. That 5.5, if I start any machine here, okay, how much I allocated? If you see this machine, how much I allocated to this machine, guys? Where we can see, go to the settings, you can see. Okay, or here itself you can see, sorry. See, base memory 2 GB, 2048. Out of that 6 GB free memory, if you see here, free memory is how much, guys? 9.15.7 minus 9.5, 5.7 plus zero point 0.5, how much? 6.2, something like that. Okay, this 6.2, I have 6.2 free memory available. Now if I start this machine, 6.2 minus 2 GB, 2048 MB means 2 GB. How much free memory I'll have? 4.2. If I start this machine, 4.2 minus 3 GB, 3072 MB, 1 GB is equal to 1024 MB. Okay, 2 GB means 2048 MB, 3 GB means 3072 MB. So out of 4.2, 3 GB, if I start this machine, it will consume 3 GB. So how much left over, guys? Finally, how much left over? 4.2 minus 3 GB.
1.2.
1.2. Okay, hardly that 1.2 I'll have. If I start another machine also, okay, then how much it will use? 2 GB, but I have only 2 GB. It needs 2 GB, but I have only 1.2 GB. Now, do you think this machine will run smoothly? No, because I don't have enough memory to run. Is it clear, guys, now? Because maximum it is using the max 16 GB memory. If I want to run, either I have to close other applications, what and all I'm using currently, I have to close other applications. It will release some memory. That memory I can use for this machine. Clear, guys, how the manage, like how the resources will be managed? Is it clear, everyone?
One more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, in the organization, while creating these systems are created the Windows Server. So, is there any minimum limit for like
Nothing like
CPU
that.
storage and
Nothing like that. There is no minimum limit. Okay, maximum limit depends upon their applications only. Minimum limit, there is nothing like that.
oh,
Generally, as server, okay, will be mapped to any application. So generally roughly the minimum is 4 GB, but nowadays, okay, the minimum became 8 GB, 8 GB RAM kind of thing, and 8 core CPU kind of thing. So minimum configuration, if you see, generally like either 4 GB or 8 GB, you can see in the organizations. Okay, any other questions, guys? Are we good, guys? Is it clear how the virtualization will work, how the resources will be managed? Any questions so far?
No, clear.
Okay, so this is called a data center, guys. Okay, data center, okay, where you can see all the resources. That means here in your data center, that's why if you go to any IT companies or normal companies also, I mean ITAS, IT enabled companies and all, or some BPO companies also, you see, maybe in the floor, maybe in any corner, you can see small room. You can see that is like a server room. So earlier, the servers, like earlier when we have physical machines, generally server rooms are very, very big. And sometimes even it will occupy the whole 10 storage building. Okay, 10-story building it will occupy, 10 floors building it will occupy. There are some server rooms also. I mean, earlier means in the year of 2000, 2003, 2005, like that. That time we don't have virtual machines. So the whole building, 10 floors or 20 floors, they use it to maintain the servers completely with a complete chilled environment. Like because 100 servers, 200 servers will run in the same floor, which will generate lot of heat. So the peripherals will be damaged. So like that you can see 10-story building, 20-story building just to maintain the servers. Nowadays that space is limited to a single 10 by 10 room. Just a 10 by 10 room, 10 feet by 10 feet room. Okay, it was limited, hardly 20 feet room. Okay, so 20 feet room means it's very big environment. See, all the resources will be managed in that server room. Okay, they will keep adding the racks. You can see a rack. Okay, how the racks will be racks in the data center. You can see a blade. We can call it as a blade, guys. See, this is how it look like. Maybe you can see this kind of a shelf kind of thing. Okay, so if you see here, you can see a rack. See, he's maybe managing a rack. Okay, so he's either adding the storage or doing something like maybe. Okay, you can see here a kind of a shelf. This is one rack server. Okay, you can see in this server you can see, okay, the resources like RAM, memory, storage, and also they will keep adding the storage, they'll keep adding the memory. So this is how you can see. So each thing is a rack. In that rack is nothing but a common, this is how it will be. See, a rack. Okay, you can see in this rack you can see one server here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 servers are there in this rack. Okay, so this is how they will be managed, guys. The racks will be managed like this. Okay, so now if you see here, this is like existed physically. So in this you will have the memory, you will have the storage, you will have the, okay, whatever, like the CPU and all. These resources will be used to manage the virtual machines. Whatever resources are there, these resources will be helped or used to manage the virtual machines, guys. This is how the data center rooms will be like this. If you see here the Azure data center, like let me show you Azure data center, how big it is. See, you can see a kind of a go down. Okay, inside the go down you can see how it was. So inside the go down you can see like this racks, series of racks kind of thing. Okay, so will be managed like this, guys. So this is how the resources will be managed, and this server they will give it for any application. Okay, imagine, let me go with this one, gear symbol. Okay, so one server they will allocate to one application. Imagine from this server, okay, any application, guys, any application will run, and users will be connected to this application. Okay, users. They all will connect to this application. Imagine this is like a Azure.com. Okay, imagine this is like a shopping site, Azure.com. The users means you are the user, the one who is like connected to the application. So you connected to the application, you are doing shopping, right? So you are the user. So this is Azure.com application, and users will be connected to this application. They are doing some shopping. Suddenly, if something went wrong, okay, let me complete this first. Okay, so now these people are doing shopping from the Azure.com. This Azure.com is running from this server. Suddenly, someone restarted the server, guys. Okay, this was restarted. Now application will be accessible, guys, because there is no machine to process these user requests. Maybe he is doing some shopping, maybe she is adding some products into the cart, maybe she is okay, like proceeding for the billing and all, she is trying to complete the payment and all, and maybe he is like accessing, he is just doing a window shopping and all. So suddenly the backend server is restarted, or someone shut down the server, the backend server. All these people, okay, the application will be down, because application cannot run without a database or without the particular servers, application server and all. Okay, suddenly this application will be down. If this application is down, okay, her transaction will be failed, and whatever she is doing, that will be also cancelled, like everything will be cancelled, the business will be down. You are getting my point, guys, how the application will be managed. Okay, so as a DBA, and we are going to manage these servers, we will connect to these servers. Okay, imagine now you are a DBA, guys. Okay, let's go with the doctor. Okay, so you are a DBA. So if something went wrong, now you will be part of the organization. So now you will connect to this server, okay, and then you are going to troubleshoot what went wrong with the server, why we are not able to connect, why this was down. So that is our work, guys. Is it clear? We are the DBS, these are the users. So for every application, that means for every server, will build for one application. For every application, some users will be there. Imagine the same, let's go back with the same example, banking application. Imagine SBI net banking. So you went to bank, all these four people went to bank, and this application is running from this server. Suddenly the server was down. Someone restarted the server, or server was down due to some issue. Not only like restart, no one will mandatorily, no one will wantedly restart the server during the business hours. So suddenly something went wrong and this machine is down. So SBI application will be down. So these four people are in queue. They want to deposit money, they want to withdraw money, they want to like transfer the check, something like that. They have some business financial transactions. So the all people has to wait in the queue, because the application itself is down. Until the application is back, they have to wait in the queue. So now you can see the real time problems. If the application is down, what went wrong, what will be the problem, like how the situation will be in the real time, okay, in the society. So for every application, backend one server we need. Okay, for every application, either it can be a small application or big application, or it can be a critical application, users will be there. If suddenly if your server is down, you might think that only server is down. No, the backend application also down. So the users also will face problems. So business issue, business down. Clear, guys, how this will be managed now? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Any other questions here, please? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Nothing to worry. Just you can, don't hesitate, guys. You can ask me if you have any questions, or if you cannot ask, you can type in the chat also. Don't again feel like it's a simple doubt, silly doubt and all. No, everyone came here to learn only. So you can just ask any kind of doubts. Okay. Then, okay. I'll consider this as no. Okay, so what we can do now, we will install. Now see here, I'll just add 2, 3 points here. So now where we are, we don't have the server. We have to build the server now. So if I want to build the server, what I should have? This is a virtual machine. Okay, I want to build a virtual machine. To build this virtual machine, what I should have? To build the virtual machine, what I should have? Even I highlighted also. Please open your mouth.
Physical machine.
Okay, physical machine. I have my laptop. Then
Virtualization
virtualization.
Windows
software.
server.
Okay, that is also fine. Windows Server and all. After building this machine, I'll install Windows Server, right? So before, if I want to build this machine, what I should have?
VM software.
SQL
VM
Server.
software. Very good, huh? SQL Server. On top of this machine, I'll install SQL Server. So currently, I have to build this machine. Okay, so to build this machine, I need virtualization software. I need physical resources, RAM, CPU, storage. So I have RAM, I have CPU, I have storage. Okay, just now we have seen, right? So I need virtualization software, correct? So the next thing is I need virtualization software. So to do this thing, we have virtualization softwares. In the market, mainly we have three main leaders in the virtualization software. Okay, okay, so using the virtualization softwares we can build, right? So in the market we have three main virtualization softwares. Can anyone tell me? VMware,
Oracle.
Oracle
Oracle.
VirtualBox, and
Citrix.
Citrix is not a virtualization software actually. It's a VDI software. Okay, and we have Hyper-V, hypervisor from Microsoft. These are the three main leaders in virtualization software. So few people, few companies will use VMware, few companies will use Oracle VirtualBox, few companies will use Hyper-V. So it depends upon their requirement. Okay, it depends upon their requirements, depends upon the features of each software, depends upon the licensing cost. Okay, people will use different softwares. So in our practice, we will use Oracle VirtualBox. Are you getting the point, guys? We will use Oracle VirtualBox in our practice. Guys, again, remember one thing. These softwares will help to build virtual machines. Our work is, as a DBA, we have to connect to this virtual machine. So we are least bother the machine is built by Oracle VirtualBox or Hyper-V or VMware. At the end of the day, I need one machine. Whether you are building using Hyper-V, I don't have issues. Whether you are building this machine using Oracle VirtualBox, I don't have issues. Whether you are building this machine using VMware, I don't have issues. At the end of the day, okay, whether I have the server or not. So as a DBA, I will look for the server. I don't care what software you are using to build. This is the headache of the Windows team. Who will do all these things, creating the virtual machines, like giving the resources, adding the resources? Who will take care of all these things? Your Windows team will
Windows.
take care of it. Your Wintel team, Wintel or Windows, both are same. Okay, so at the end of the day, whether I have the virtual machine is there or not, that is important to me, because once the virtual machine is ready, then I'll connect to this machine, I'll install SQL Server on top of that. So give me one machine. How you are building, that is your business. My business is I have to install the SQL Server. Okay, so that is how the DBS work will be. So we don't care like what and all softwares in the backend they are using. Finally, we will just check whether a server is available or not for us. If the server is available, simply we'll connect to the server and we'll install the SQL Server, guys. So it can be any software, Shanmukh, you're using, okay, Oracle VirtualBox, right? Why can't we use VMware? Okay, So because Oracle VirtualBox, the advantage, it's a lightweight process when compared to VMware. VMware needs a lot of resources. In the Oracle VirtualBox, we can run the machine with 512 MB RAM also, but VMware it needs minimum 1 GB machine RAM. So VMware needs more resources, whereas the same thing we can achieve using Oracle VirtualBox. It's a kind of a lightweight. Okay, so for us, we are having a memory limitations, right? Sometimes we'll have 8 GB RAM in our laptops. So 4 GB also is there. So we'll have limited resources. So that is the reason Oracle VirtualBox is best suitable. But don't think that we are not getting okay experience on VMware because it's not our work. VMware or Oracle VirtualBox or Hyper-V will be taken care by the Windows team. So whatever it is, at the end of the day, we need one server. So we have to check whether server is there or not. Okay, so once server is there, we'll connect to that server and then we'll install the SQL server on top of the Windows server, guys. So we will use Oracle VirtualBox. So the next step will be we have to install the Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, clear? Now, is it clear, guys? The next step will be we have to install the Oracle VirtualBox in our laptops. That Oracle VirtualBox will help to align the your laptop resources, okay, to the server. So once we installed Oracle VirtualBox in your laptop, using your laptop RAM, using your laptop CPU, using your laptop storage, I can build the virtual machine in your laptop itself. Clear? This is uh, the what I can say, the background. Okay, this is the base. Okay, for the virtual machine. This is how it will be, guys. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay. So if no questions, take a break. Come back after maybe 15 minutes. Okay, and then we'll install the Oracle VirtualBox software first. In my laptop, it's already there. So I'll help. I'll take your help from any of you. You can share the screen. You can install. I'll show you. I'll guide you how to install and all. Okay. So okay, the next step after the break, we'll install the Oracle VirtualBox and we'll create one server, guys. Okay, fine. So take a break. Come back after 15 minutes, guys. I'll be back in 15 minutes.